Hey guys, guess who it is again? I've got something really cool for you today that I know myself and a lot of other people have been waiting to do for years. And somehow it's finally here, and it kind of slipped by me on the radar, but as soon as I saw it, I knew I had to make a video about it. Now, a while back I showed you this Ultimate Cup modification for Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, which added smoke and rain. A playable rain was the focus of the original video. But the hacker has kept at it, and he's added some more stuff to this game. Again, his name escapes me, but I will put it down below, like always. Get ready for something that's about to blow your mind when I show you this. And I know you're thinking, Trent, did you just pick Motaro in the arcade version of Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 and the game not crash? Well, I did. That I did, my friend. It's finally here. So I thought I'd do a quick run through with Horseboy here to show you just how much work the hacker has put into this, and I wish I had got the name of the guy and written it down this time, but I forgot as usual. I have editing software now, so I can put it on the screen. It's no big deal. Anyway, he's really outdone himself here. As always, it seems like the goal of this hack is to make the gameplay more like Trilogy on console, but with the quality of the arcade version, he's very well headed in that direction. Now, I know for years I've wanted to play as Motaro and Shao Kahn, and it's finally here. So as you know, even if you hack the other version of the game, it just crashes because the Midway staff never intended these guys to be used, and the way that the CPU works in these games just does not allow you to control bosses in early MKs. They just didn't design the game that way. And you can see he's even got the projectile reflecting working as Motaro, which is really cool. I've seen some piecemeal hacks for like console versions of Mortal Kombat games where the characters are playable, but some of the boss-only qualities are missing. Well, in this case, Motaro reflects projectiles just like he's supposed to. He can't quite spam his fireball like the CPU one can, but I mean that's fine. He couldn't do that in the console trilogy either. So the moves are basically the exact same as they are in the PlayStation trilogy, if you've ever played that. And Motaro has the exact same moveset there. So if Kung Lao would stop teleporting around like Jazz the Jackrabbit, I would show you. But he's got the teleport, which is just as fast as the other, but he can't spam it. He can't do it multiple times in a row like the CPU can. Only about one at a time. It's still very fast. And he's got the fireball, which I showed you a minute ago, which is still a very good move because it has a very low arc. It starts high and it goes kind of low. So basically, unless you're on the other side of the screen or very close, it's going to hit you. Or hit the AI, I guess I should say. I really doubt there's too many people that are going to be playing competitive UMK3 as the boss characters. Of course, he can jump. He can't jump quite as fast as AI Motaro can. And you can see that some of those jump kicks were whiffing. So I think that's probably a quirk of making him playable. But you really got to check out the link below and check this hack out. It's super easy to install and get, and it just works, and it's very easy. It's very user-friendly. Unless you want to, you don't have to go through the process of like unzipping MAME ROMs or anything like that. It's very simple to install. And as you can see, new stages have been added to the lineup, like here's Goro's Lair, and there's Noob's Orphan. And this is all running in the arcade version of the UMK3 engine, which is just the best one in my opinion. You know, PlayStation Trilogy's pretty good, but the CD, they just were super lazy when they programmed the audio, so it doesn't work right, and it cuts out like the round-in calls, and the music messes up when you pause, and there's just a lot of quality issues. Because, you see, to me, old school Mortal Kombat is about the sounds and the effects. It's about the feeling you get when you score that flawless victory. I mean, that's just Mortal Kombat. And the PlayStation Trilogy, it looks like the arcade game, but the quality and finesse of the arcade version is not there. But like I said, this hack, it captures it all. And there's even some Mortal Kombat 1 stages stuffed in here. It's really amazing. The only criticism I have is that he still has not added Noob Saibot back into the game. I think he said that that's just a matter of his personal preference. And there's a few other decisions, like if you read his change logs, it's just like, I didn't really like this, so I took it out of this mode, or I took it out of this part of the game. Which, you know, it's his hack, so that's fine. But that's really the only criticism I have is, you know, why would you make less characters? Obviously, you have the ability and talent to add more, so just leave Noob Saibot in there, you know, would be my only complaint. But other than that, this is completely phenomenal. I'm sorry I'm not providing more commentary about Motaro himself, but as you can see, he just completely decimates the boss, the AI opponents. They're not equipped to deal with his moveset. It makes it very easy. I would, however, say after playing through this one time earlier, that in the trilogy version they at least accounted for the playable bosses, because like if you play as the bosses in that version, Shao Kahn knows how to deal with you. He knows to stun lock you and how to kill you. But as you're going to see, hopefully again, as it was the first time I did this, Shao Kahn has a really hard time with Motaro in this version, especially because you can reflect projectiles. I love doing that just to see the projectile bounce back and forth there. Also, I gotta say, that is a really cool Player 2 palette for Motaro. It looks like something out of Killer Instinct, honestly, like you would see Gargos or something, an alternate color for him. Saw a little glitch there. He just kind of dropped dead for no reason for a second. That happens sometimes. I don't know why. Like I said, these guys are not meant to be playable, so I can't imagine the amount of work that went into making them playable. It would have involved going in and assigning like inputs to button commands and that kind of thing. It's very difficult work. You can see this version of Shao Kahn just kind of kills himself because he doesn't know not to fire projectiles at me. It's very satisfying to use Motaro against this guy. And there you have it. It's super easy to do to beat the arcade mode playing as Motaro. And it's so funny that I've wanted to do that for so long, because obviously that's how it would be. You would just breeze through there and kill everybody, but it's extremely cathartic to be able to do that. You have no idea. I'm sure that a lot of you will see this and go check it out. Now, one thing that sucks is he hasn't imported Motaro's ending. It just, like, you can press the button here and nothing happens. You can select the other buttons here and stuff happens. But you can't see Motaro's ending. He had an ending in Trilogy, even though it was very lazily and very poorly done. He did at least have an ending. Rain's ending is in the game, but unfortunately Motaro and Shao Kahn's are not in the game. So let's do Shao Kahn right quick. So let's just show this off, some of the other options you have in this hack. That's stage select, just like it is in Trilogy. And you can actually press down and start on Shang Tsung here to turn off the Mortal Kombat 1 and 2 arenas. We're just going to leave them on to kind of show it off.
Don't make me laugh.
So like, let's pick so it looks like they're in order by game, but we're going to see if we can't find Throne Room. We'll go to Warrior again, just so you get more matches to watch. Because as you can imagine, Shao Kahn goes through these guys pretty quickly. See, that's so cool to see this stage in the MK3 ending, version of the game working. Shao Kahn's Shadow Charge is so powerful. Gigantic hitbox, can hit high or low. Amazing move. Of course, he's got Ermac's projectile. Technically, it was his projectile first because he had it in vanilla in MK3. And he even put the clapping animation in the background. Or Shao Kahn has his jumping animation from the console, which is extremely goofy, but I mean, that's the way it was. His hitbox is actually really large too, so I got hit by that projectile even though I was in midair. I won't be able to demonstrate it here, unfortunately, but you can do the Pit 2 Fatality, and yes, he did put new sprites in the game for this stage and the regular Pit 2. Like I said, just a ton of work has gone into this, and I'm absolutely in awe of not just the playable bosses, but the work and the dedication to making this. I mean, it's trilogy for arcade, that's what it is. It's a higher quality MK trilogy. It's exactly what this is. And this fatality works just like it does in MK1. If you're playing normal characters, you can just uppercut here and send them into the pit bottom.
You will never win. Round 1. Fight.
Pit fatality on this stage works as well. You can do the full knock them into the acid. It has the correct sprite and everything. I don't think it has the aw maw sound, but I think he's saying foul ball actually. But you can do the Deadpool fatality here nonetheless.
Don't make me laugh. Round 2. Fight.
So there was a comment in my last vid. I made a comment about, like, I wondered why they didn't add any new sounds to this hack. And apparently it has to do with the compression technology of the sound that Midway used. The format documentation is long lost and it's encrypted, so it would be possible to do, possibly, is what one commenter said, but probably wouldn't be worth it with the amount of effort it would take to do it. Because obviously more characters can be added. I would be very interested to see if, like, down the line he decides to add like Raiden and MK2 Kung Lao and those type of characters into this. That would be really cool because some of those characters are in 3 anyway, so you can reuse their voice clip. For the ones that aren't, you just have to stick with the, like, it's official, you suck, and those sorts of things, which would be fine. I think that'd be a very small price to pay for playing as, you know, Raiden in the MK3 arcade engine. That would be super cool. You can tell he was definitely a fan of the PlayStation version of Trilogy because, like, just like with Motaro, all the movesets are from the PlayStation version, and it also doesn't have the 2 very silly fatalities that Motaro and Shao Kahn had.
Still trying to win. Round 2. Fight.
Motaro's is literally just his win animation, but he picks your head up off your body. And then Shao Kahn's is, it's literally just Shiva's, but with a hammer. That's all it is. Also, I believe in PlayStation Trilogy, Shao Kahn had a grab and choke throw. But that doesn't seem to be here. Which is fine. He's strong enough as it is. He doesn't need another move. You can see not only has he added the arenas from MK2, but he's managed to get the background effects working as well. You can see the clouds going by back there. It's not just like a static background. I'm essentially the Juggernaut, and he is no match for me.
Still trying to win. Round 2. Fight.
The cool thing about this hack, another cool thing about it is that, you know, those are just on the select screen for anybody. So if you did want to play some like crazy 3-on-3 matchups with like the boss as one of your characters, you could do it. that would be a lot of fun, probably for all of 10 or 15 minutes to just goof around until you saw how broken it was. Although, given the amount of pushback and stun the bosses have, it might not be as bad as I think, but it's probably still pretty bad. The AI is really only as good as it is because it reads your inputs, not necessarily the, you know, the priority and speed of Motaro and Shao Kahn are just that good. See, last time I just pretty much stun-locked him in a corner. You have no idea how satisfying that is to do to Motaro. This is where I'm probably going to lose, because the AI Shao Kahn is kind of merciless here. He'll just do this over and over and trap you in the corner. You're not fast enough to attack after his attacks, but if you block, the stun keeps you in the corner.
Never win. Round 2. Fight.
The two options I found for beating this is you pretty much just have to get into the corner, accept that you're going to be in the corner, and then like eat stun blocks until he does either a standstill or he does his taunt. If he does either of those, you have time for a hit. If he doesn't do those, like see how he just stood still there? But you can eat like 10 or 15 hits before he finally decides to stand still again. Yeah, see, there's nothing I could do. He didn't go for it. I truly believe this game plays around with that, like Shao Kahn will taunt until he's getting close to losing, as to make the player think, oh, I almost got him that time, so I should spend another quarter to try to beat him this time. Because 90s fighting game AI, that's why. No luck. There's probably a better way to do this. Just not sure what it is yet. Wait a minute, did that go through the boss's projectile? Unfortunately, Shao Kahn doesn't have an uppercut either. So, you know, a normal character would just eat the hit and then, like, uppercut him to at least get him off of you. But as Shao Kahn, ironically, you don't have that luxury. I was expecting him to start trading those with me, but he never did, so I was like, okay, I'll take it. Got it. Okay, great. Just ignore the sound of the angry chihuahua in the background. The flashing during the scene always upsets her, so she just goes hog wild. That and the promise of DLC for No Man's Sky, as some of you may remember, just drives my chihuahua insane. So, also, this is another one of those things that the creator has replaced. You no longer battle Noob Saibot. You have to fight Human Smoke because he took Noob Saibot out of the game. I guess I truly am an old school purist, and that what I want more than anything, like the trilogy features and all that, are great. What I would love more than anything is an arcade perfect version, with just like the arcade, but Noob Saibot is playable, and the bosses are playable, and everything else is in place, which fortunately this has some features to do that. Like I said, you can turn off the new stages. You can turn off. You can actually turn off the bosses in rain if you want to, but you know that kind of defeats the point of playing this version. But anyway, you get the point. We'll do the battle with Human Smoke and just finish it off. So you can see Shao Kahn one more time here.
Fight.
My other favorite character, who Ed Boon ignores now, Human Smoke. Triborg Smoke is not the same, and I will never accept it as such.
Fight.
So no Smoke wasn't an MK11. I mean MK10. MKX, whatever you want to call it. Do you guys think that Shiva is actually going to be DLC for Mortal Kombat 11's Inevitable Season 2? Leave a comment below if you think that Shiva will actually make it in. And also make a comment which Ash you think it is, if it's Ash Williams or Ash Ketchum. Or that other Ash. Maybe it's Ashley Williams from Mass Effect, I don't know. No, for real though, we all know it's Stryker. Stryker is the next DLC.